name is Rosi Greenberg.
And my name is Joseph Green.
I am the CEO of Drawn to Lead.
And I am the CEO of LMSVoice.
And together, we are here to present Narrative Disruption.
Narrative disruption? Rosie, what's that?
Well, Joseph, well, everyone. Narrative disruption is the practice of using our lived experiences and our stories to disrupt narratives of stigma and narratives that are kind of the status quo, quote unquote, out there. This is about finding your magic. It's about finding the moments that bring you to your leadership.
We go from self, this is why I'm here, us, this is why we're here, this is what we need to take care of, and this is what I need from you to take care of it. We're gonna do that by talking about ourselves! Yay! First part is called the story of self.
The story of self is really about connecting the listeners to the storyteller. And really building trust and hope with the storyteller. One way to start this is to start with what you're called to do in the world.
Building community, recovering out loud, advocacy through theater, and creating pathways to recovery.
This is why I'm called to share the empowerment of taking back the power in your story.
This is why I'm called to make connections with the recovery community, to engage with those struggling and remind them that they're valuable and have worth and deserve to live.
Yes!
My best friend of 13 years overdosed from heroin. I was living in a drug house, and 10 days later I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. I called my dad, I begged him to come get me, and he did. And I haven't used heroin since that day. Sharing my story and educating and advocating makes a difference for the doctors of our future.
What do we learn about Sarah from this story? Sarah is
That she's a warrior.
a warrior. Resilient, a survivor, I heard.
Even though my challenge wasn't your challenge, I've known challenge.
We've all felt like we don't belong. We have all felt like we don't fit in. And we've also known that feeling where someone really sees us and offers us space to be ourselves. That is a story of us.
This here is the beginning of a journey. You don't have to figure it out right now. We've all experienced feeling excluded, feeling embarrassed and wanting to run. But we've also experienced finding acceptance, finding someone or someones that will let us be ourselves and listen to our stories.
You may not have experienced trauma, but we've all felt the pain of betrayal. And we've all also felt hope and love. And that's how I know that we care about healing.
It's not everybody who comes up on this stage to tell a story when they're scared, no matter what that story is. That takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of strength. And I think it takes a lot of strength to say I'm not okay in a culture where we're all expected to be okay. And this group of people is a group that deeply respects that and that sees you as a leader right now. Thank you. Story of Now is gathering all that together and calling us to action, like really moving us forward. And this is where we actually often spend most of our time as mobilizers and organizers. Now, this is the hardest part because we are bringing out urgency, because we are trying to confront people and say, this cannot last one more minute.
You may not have experienced childhood homelessness or trauma or poverty, but we've all felt like we didn't fit in or we weren't good enough. And we've also felt those fleeting moments of comfort and happiness, cuddled up to something soft, or maybe a personal vision of just being with your mom. And this is how I know we care about making a difference in people's lives. And what better way than including and hearing young people? We can change this together by developing youth-led spaces and activities, strengthening adult social emotional learning, and developing healing spaces for recovering families. Join us on Wednesdays at 5 at the Arc to make a difference. Come support the children, including your younger self.
Connor, who's in? Oh, look at that! Let's give a round of applause.
And now we're facing a problem of disconnection. And I know this to be true. It was shown to be evident to me in the first 6 months of COVID, when I lost more of my recovering brothers and sisters off of my active caseload than I had in the previous 9 years of practicing substance use counseling. But there is a way we can change this together. By raising our stories together to create safe spaces of hope in our community, for each other, to support our healing together. And so I'm asking you to join me at my home for dinner next Friday at 7. I hope to see you there.
The experience of hearing the stories of the people of this town has really gone to do what I think the power of story does, which is take people from being this space of other to being a member of your community. By them being willing to show a little bit of vulnerability and you offering the same, you can take people who have never lived in the same place, have not known each other until this day, and find common ground. And if we can do that with strangers, maybe we can do it with the people in our community also.
Ain't got a lot of time to kill, but I ain't dead yet. I got a cold heart of gold, there's a hole in it, been so long. Don't know if I can fix it. Gonna stand by the fire, heat the iron, try to cauterize. Wish I knew what I was doing. Cold breeze coming in, catching under my chin, and I start to feel a little bit alive again. Does anybody know what it feel like to come back from the dead? Does anybody know what it feel like to choose to live instead? Does anybody know what it feel like to watch the sun coming up in the morning? Does anybody know what it feel like to